Hello there, it's me, Al. It's been a while since the last one. The last one, number 92, has quite a lot of views, it looks like. So I figured, since it doesn't actually show this class in use, so I'd like to at least, maybe with this animator object, to use the new GIF interface. Well, looking at this image lib thing that I added in TS GIF here, I wasn't happy. Well, actually, I was pretty dismayed by all this extra stuff in here that doesn't belong. Really, that's not my goal. Wasn't a class that looks like this. Although, the interface is quite simple. Create, pass a string in, and suddenly you got an animated GIF. The only question is, how do you use it? And that has to do with this list of what I called GIF sections, which has a bunch of stuff, again, that you don't need. This indexed image really just means a paletted image, which I don't want anything to do with palettes. We might want to know a little bit about these things, like the delay. I converted everything into RGB triples, which is what Windows likes, whereas the GIF, if you look in the GIF file, a GIF color table entry goes red, green, and blue, but an RGB triple goes blue, green, red, you see. So while reading this thing in, somewhere in here I flipped the order here. Read color table, blah blah blah. So this is reading from the file. I take that as a GIF color table entry, and then I construct an RGB triple, set the reds and the greens and the blues together, and then add that to my table that I'm creating. Okay, so fine. Still, there's a global color table, which is of no use. I want to throw away. I might want to keep the header information, but very little of this I want to remain. Now, this is an old copy. You can tell there's no source control here. So what I did was I basically moved all this stuff away, and I got rid of this new lib because I see no reason for it. And hopefully I haven't, oh dear. I hope this is correct. Well, one way to be sure is to go and delete that other one. Okay. So now I've stuck it back here into this TS Windows, and this is the class. Now I'm using a lot of smart pointers here in this in this whole business here, because I'm creating lists of these images and passing them back and forth, and I don't want to recopy the data too many times. So Like for instance, this get color data returns a smart pointer type thing. And this object contains a list of images. Each one has a rect, each one has a display time, and each one has a smart pointer to 24-bit color data. And you can see all that other stuff is gone. There's no pointer to file, there's no debug info stuff, and all that. All that eventually went into this local GIF decoder. So here's the previous class, most of it, where I do the parsing and debug tracing, and it as well contains a list of images. It constructs a list of these sections. Section contains the control extensions, a local image descriptor, which every image has, in this case anyway, one of those indexed images, palleted image, and so it's just like the other one. And then it goes through its decode routine, constructing that table. Now in order to construct a GIF, create one of these decoder things, load from file, and then walk through all of its images. And I'm just taking out the things that I want. I want the image rec, the display time, and the color data for each image. So that's why I changed this thing. No, that's the global one. Where is it? Must be in here. Yeah, this is a color table. But the info part, this used to be a pointer to raw data, but now it's another one of those smart pointer things. So this has a reference count. This keeps count of its references. So I can extract that part separately from the others. Here I can get the color data for a particular image. Alright, well, it all looks very complicated, and maybe it is complicated, but in the end it's not that complicated. Here now, in my dialog, in the constructor, create from file. This is the original GIF. I get the image rec for the image, or animation as it is, it turns out. And well, since what I want to do is make like an image strip. If I expand along Y, in the Y direction, there are 11 images. This is just an assert, it doesn't have to be 11. If I expand this rect to the height, well, take number of images minus 1, multiplied by height, and expand by that many units, then I'll have an 11, it'll be 11 times as high as the original image. Then I work out the number of bytes per image, the total bytes in the whole thing. And it turns out that the way I've read them in, they're in the reverse. They'll be in the reverse order if I copy them in from top to bottom. So I've got to copy them in from bottom to top. Everything's upside down with bitmap images, I suppose. Now, of course, I need a device context, and that I added a new create call, which takes a rect bits per pixel and sets the bits optionally to whatever I pass in, and that I've done here by just copying color data for the end image. Now this GIF is created here and dies here, so by the time this constructor is complete, that should be dead. And I'm curious about something. I believe I keep erasing this line and putting it back. Where is it? I'm not deleting. Where is it? Somewhere I was doing a delete object. Not in here. There's a mem bitmap. Yeah, I remember. Handle to bitmap. Here. Yeah. Now that's fine. I don't know. At some point I was deleting that handle to bitmap. Well, make sure. Yeah. Oh, I took the comment away. I think I can delete it after selecting it in. Now that makes sense. Once we can. Now, are we even using? We're not even. Well, we might be using that. Everything eventually must call. Well, let's just see if it gets called. Okay. It doesn't seem like I need it. And this frame rate here is by the way, the double click would stop it if I had double clicks. So this is running at the frame rate given from the file. I'm not. Well, I've got them saved here, but if I get rid of that, I'll get rid of this. Select the frame rate from the GIF file. Of course I can change it. Oh dear. Of course. They do not like to be divided by 0. I thought I fixed that. Set frame rate. If 0, set to U max. Why are they complaining? Well, maybe get text. Oh, A2L is complaining, probably. Yeah, I got an assert here. Well, let's take that away. If is empty, turn 0. It's not worth asserting over. So now you'll notice when now double click is working. There's just that picture here and the resource. There's no, I took the image out of the resource. I should be able to put the GIF in as a resource. Okay. But anyway, the point was supposed to be anyway that the memory footprint should be quite small once it's up and running. 30, yeah, it's not very much. But during the loading phase and everything, there's a couple copies, I guess 3 copies of this pic of the animation at one point. But it doesn't use any CPU or anything, of course. You wouldn't expect it to. And so that's it. What problem is fixed? Now what? Yeah, there's some weird problem with the drawing. When I run these sorts of things and quit, I get undrawn areas of the screen. Seems okay at the moment. I don't have to just dump all this out, obviously, but I want to make sure it's working properly. So these color tables are in fact reversed, in reverse order. They're pretty much grayscale, but maybe 1 or 2 are slightly not gray. It looks grayscale. But these local ones are not grayscale, I think. There they are. Yeah, so for this particular GIF, you wouldn't notice any difference if I switched the reds and the blues. It seems like it's gray, it's completely gray. which you would expect, black and white. Okay, so now I can do animated GIF. I don't know what happens if I put that other GIF in there. Probably something bad. Where's that other GIF? That's in YouTube. Pick view. This GIF. I wonder how to make an animated GIF now. So what happens if I have just a 1 by 1? When test. wlogo3.gif. Probably die. I'd like to put it in as a resource. Well, those certs aren't going to be correct. What else do I mention? 11. So I should be able to, it should be num images. You have to do it vertically or else they misalign. Am I using everything properly? Oh, it worked okay. Worked fine. Good. No weirdo. I solved that problem. That was a tough one. You notice these boxes. I had a lot of trouble centering the image. It doesn't matter the size of the box, but centering the image on the box was tricky because what I have always, when I get the window rec of this box, it's always at 0, 0 for my window, right? This is a custom control window, and when it gets its W on create, its device context is that box. So what I got to do is find out where it is with respect to the parent window, right? And then center the image here. That's what this thing does. I have to get the parent HWin and do like map points, screen defined, and so on. Anyway, just wasting your time. Put that back to the correct picture. Yeah, now if I could just put this in as a resource, there's such a thing as a binary resource. Right, or I could say bitmap. I just want it to be, binary data. Custom, probably. Give it a name, and then give it a file. I won't do that. What I'll do is I'll zip this up. Yeah, of course. And why don't I make that return an int? Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Yeah, I'll zip up the executable and I'll make a release version and put a link in the video description. Okay, see you. Or unless you want the debug version of the printing. I'll put both.